Learning words is a cornerstone while acquiring a new language. If you watched part 1 of this 3-part series, you understood what is SRS and why I consider it as a most effective tool for memorizing new words. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I actually make my flashcards for Turkish words. As said before, the idea of making flashcards based on SRS originated from the book called Fluent Forever, written by Leitner. Therefore, in order to make Turkish flashcards, I firstly borrowed the list of 625 most frequent words in any language from the book, which consumes most common nouns, verbs and adjectives. I decided to start with this number and then to gradually enlarge it with other frequent words. As a next step, I decided to use Turkish frequency dictionary so I could find the most frequent synonyms in Turkish language for those 625 words. In that way, I would avoid not so frequent synonyms of the chosen words that are not so relevant for me as a beginner. Though it is possible to make flashcards physically, I opted to make them electronically for a number of reasons. Primarily, it is easier and faster for me to make them electronically by using one of the most common office programs called PowerPoint presentation. Besides, I consider that by using Google Images, I would be much more creative than by drawing or making the pictures myself. Google Images represent an inexhaustible source in which you can find literally anything you search for. And of course, I can easily bring my PC and review those flashcards anytime and anywhere I want. Thus, come and see how I make my flashcards in PowerPoint. Okay, so I open the blank document, remove this text box, and then I go to Insert Card and Add Shape. For instance, this rectangle. This is supposed to be the front side of our flashcard. We double click on it and insert our Turkish word, for instance, kopek. You may add Turkish keyboard on your PC in order to write all words, or you may just copy words directly from your Turkish frequency dictionary like this, and then center your text and set some fancy font. Now we should make our back page. I do this simply by searching the most suitable photo in the Google Images that resonates with my previous experiences and that will unambiguously remind me on that word. Be aware that this is the key element for the process of memorization. For instance, for word kumsal, that means beach, I found a photo of the beach in Montenegro that I visited this summer several times. For some of the words like family, friends and similar, you can use your own photos as well. I use this photo of my dog seated in my chair for a flashcard that represent Turkish word kopek. When I review this card first time, it creates a unique bond with my memories on my dog, about his look, bark, even tail wagging. It is amazing how it booms into your memory. Okay, so when you download a photo from Google Images to your PC, we can simply copy it to your PowerPoint presentation, and then we set size of both front and back side of your flashcard. The key moment for making your flashcards look cool is to add animation to both sides. For the front side, I use this exit effect called collapse, and for the back side, I use stretch effect. Click on your back side with right click and then make sure that you send it backwards. And voila! You made your first flashcard. The catch is to make the first one so that you can use the same template for the all next ones. Regarding the sound and the pronunciation of the words, I have to say that I know to read Turkish words because the letters represent a combination of the languages that I already speak. Therefore, I use Google Translate to find out the pronunciation of the concrete words only if I'm not 100% certain. However, you can download the pronunciation of the Turkish word online and then insert this sound as well into your PowerPoint presentation that represent your flashcard if you're not familiar how to pronounce words. I save my flashcards with numbers so that I can always know how many flashcards I have already made. I used these flashcards for several weeks and my first impression is that I'm literally fascinated by this method of learning and how the picture just somehow pop up in my mind when I see the word and I can easily recall it. Okay, so we made our flashcards now, but how do we use them? This key element for the memorization process will be explained in the third part of this 3-video series. So click that end screen and come on over.